Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. I'm super excited to have you all here today. We have a great presentation to run through, a ton of content to cover, and I can't wait to dive in. For everyone on this call, I want to make sure that you feel comfortable using the question box feature in the GoToWebinar app so that you're able to comfortably ask questions throughout the webinar and have those answered in the Q&A session at the end. So for everyone on this call, that's essentially going to act as your chat feature for today. And I'd love for you to just type into that question box, say hello, let me know where you're calling in from today. And I'll call out some of the respondents here. One of the great things about these webinars is they connect folks from all different corners of the world. We all took time and showed up for our marketing today. So give yourselves a pat on the back for being here, and give me a shout out. Let me know where you're calling in from. For example, I'm located near Boston, Massachusetts, in Salem, Massachusetts, which is a super well-known historical city for the Salem trials. So we just got past our busy season around Halloween this past fall, and I'm really loving it here. So tons of responses coming in. We have folks from all different corners typing in saying hello. Some folks also from New England. We have Eugene from Oregon, welcome. We have Megan from North Carolina, Savannah from Cape Coral, Florida, Tiffany from Georgia, Tiffany from Tampa, Florida, Charlie from Greeley, Colorado, welcome. Jessica from Hudson Valley, New York, welcome. Some folks from up in Canada, hello. Mark from Middleton, Mass, so my neighbor there, hello. Kelsey from Atlanta, Georgia. Katie from Louisiana, hello, Katie. Tons of folks typing in. I wish I could call all of you out. Truly people from all different corners of the world on right now. So thank you all for participating in that. And again, I hope that you feel comfortable using that question box feature throughout. So with that being said, I'm going to cover a few housekeeping items for today's presentation. So just for everyone on this call, please note that this will be recorded. So you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything like that. You'll get a copy of the slides as well as the recording in your inbox later today. Also, just note that all of our webinar recordings are easily found on the Local IQ and WordStream YouTube channels. So if you ever feel like you missed any parts of this webinar, want to come back to it, or want to revisit any past webinars you may have missed, you can find them on there easily as well. Also, the reason why I had you all practice using the question box and saying hello is I want to again comfortable adding some questions in for that Q&A session at the end. If you've attended any of our past webinars, you know that we love to do those Q&A sessions at the end of the webinars for those last few minutes. It's a really unique experience to kind of get almost what feels like a one-on-one situation of me answering as many questions as I can coming in from you all. So looking forward to that. So for everyone on this call, I want us to get on the same page as to who Local IQ is. Now, some of you might already be familiar with Local IQ or working with us already, and that's wonderful. Welcome. Some of you might be totally new, and that's great too. Welcome. And some of you might be familiar with our other related brands, WordStream and or our legacy brand Reach Local. So for everyone on this call, Local IQ is a marketing platform that marries proprietary technology and innovative expertise to give your business everything it needs to thrive and prosper. So it's an all-in-one digital marketing platform with vertical specific data informed by over 5 million campaigns that's really data that you can't find anywhere else. We have a personalized approach with local marketing experts that know your industry and truly care about the success of your business. And we have a lead management and follow-up powered by the help of AI, which I'll cover more today, that provides you with faster follow-up and conversion optimization so that you're able to get more customers and keep them as well. So one thing that we're really proud of here at Local IQ is we're an award-winning partner with all of the major advertising platforms that you know and might already be familiar or advertising with. So we really have the data to back us, our methodology, and we're a platform you can trust, and our partners trust us as well. So we've delivered over 270 million leads to our customers. We've also generated for our businesses that we work with nearly $16 billion in revenue, which is pretty amazing. And we've saved businesses across the world nearly 133 million hours of work. So we're really proud of that, and just want everyone on the call to be aware of that. And again, it's more than just a marketing platform. We'd like to think of us as a partner or, an extension of your marketing team. So again, we marry that award-winning technology combined with unmatched data that you can't find anywhere else, plus data. We've been in the digital marketing game for over 16 years, which, if you know the age of digital marketing, is really not much longer than that, or older than that. So we've really been there through it all, through all of the platform changes and ebbs and flows of the platforms across the board, and we're here to tell that story. So again, we've worked with over 1,000 different specific verticals. So I know a lot of businesses and a lot of folks on these webinars, come with specific situations for their unique business verticals and industries. And so we're very familiar with all those different niche markets out there. And again, like I said, think of us as an extension of your own team. And we have everything you need all in one to provide you everything that you would want to thrive in digital marketing. So from finding new leads through top of funnel approaches like search ads, display ads, video ads, social ads, and more, to converting those potential customers or leads for your business through things like listings management, an optimized website, search engine optimization, marketing, and more. And then we have a newly AI-powered lead management tools at your fingertips. It's called Dash, powered through our customer center that offers automated SMS messaging for your business to connect with customers, an easy to access and read activity dashboard for reporting and analytics. So you feel super in touch with the performance of your marketing and can really dig into the metrics that matter most to your business. And we also provide things like chatbots and more to, again, always be communicating and building relationships with your potential customers and your current customers too. So again, how exactly do we do that? This just provides a little bit more of a clearer picture of what we actually offer in the nitty-gritty of our different solutions. So again, our technology dynamically optimizes your campaigns and shifts your budget and spend to make sure you're spending those marketing dollars, which I know does not grow on trees, and making sure they're going to the right places for your different goals. So, if certain channels or potential leads coming in are sourced from certain areas of digital marketing that are more valuable to your business, obviously that's worth more spend than those that are less valuable. So naturally you would want to be shifting your budget like that. And we do that automatically through our technology. Also, we prioritize strong, visible online presences for our businesses. That's really the businesses that we work with. That's the main core of how you're able to reach customers and get customers to find you. And then once you get those customers to find you, we help you manage those leads that come in with ease. So you can convert clicks, calls, and texts into revenue with our AI-powered Dash platform. So a little bit about me, the person that's been talking to you for the past 10 minutes. My name is Susie. It's wonderful to meet you all. I'm your webinar host and facilitator for today. I'm a senior content marketing specialist over at Local IQ, where I write educational content on everything under the digital marketing sun, from SEO to PPC to display ads to email to social and more. I've written about it, and how I came into this role, I was formerly a digital marketing consultant with the Local IQ brand. So I was working with businesses and folks like many of you all on this call through the day-to-day best practices of digital marketing across platforms like Facebook ads, Google ads, and so on. So I took that real life experience and applied it to the educational content that I create today on the Local IQ and WordStream blogs. You can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter, or X as we call it now. I do share out any sort of important articles that I think advertisers should be aware of, platform updates, and so on. So a really common question we get asked on these webinars is, where can you learn more about the information that we cover here? Where can you learn more about Local IQ, and so on? This hour is going to fly by and we have a ton to cover. So if you ever feel like you need to take a little bit more time with any of the topics that we cover here, feel free to head over to the Local IQ or WordStream's websites. You can easily navigate over to our blog, and we cover everything that we cover in these webinars in depth on there as well. Also, be sure to follow us. You can find Lookalike Q on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X as we call it now, and YouTube, and then WordStream on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and YouTube as well. And again, I just want to highlight here, those are our YouTube channels that are linked right there at the bottom. And again, that's where you can find all of our webinar recordings. So if you want to catch this recording again, or if you want to check out any of our past webinar recordings, you can just navigate over to there and find those easily there as well. So definitely be sure to follow us. We do share like platform updates that advertisers need to be aware of. If you want to join more webinars, we share out information on that as well. So just kind of a quick plug on that as well. So if you've attended any of our past webinars, you know I love to keep our listeners on their toes, warm you all up to our topic for today with a quick pop quiz. So I would just want to take a little pulse check here. Type into that question box and let me know what marketing challenge is keeping you up at night for this coming year. What have you struggled with maybe in the past year? What are you looking to work on? I'll call out some of the answers here, but just let me know, like, what is your biggest marketing challenge? There is no right or wrong answer to this. There's going to be a ton of different answers flowing in. So I'll call out, a few different ones here, but don't feel like, one challenge is something that you shouldn't be struggling with, or you feel weird that you're not struggling with something that you actually are thriving in. I just want you all to kind of just warm up to this topic and kind of understand like where you might be standing with your marketing challenges, because I'm going to talk through a lot of different solutions today. So I want you to be thinking about how it applies to your unique situation. So a few responses coming in right now. Jennifer says creating dynamic videos. Paige says developing engaging content month after month. Megan says bringing in enough qualified leads, definitely understandable. Christian says developing the right messaging, totally fair. Victoria says how to get the new generation to dig into the information they put out. Yeah, definitely segmenting your marketing and targeting the right audiences can be difficult. More accurate representation of your company, Mark says, definitely fair too. Danielle kind of said something funny here. She says stylist stalkers, people who are watching but not converting the leads, totally fair. Tyler says he's going from a more traditional strategy, switching over to a digital marketing strategy. Yeah, so a lot of folks on this call might be more familiar with traditional channels, and making that switch to digital can be tricky. Improving social local search rankings, says Brandy. Well, I want to call out all of these. Some people are saying lead generation, totally fair. Budget, called out from Amy, totally fair. And that's something we'll discuss a little bit too. Getting started overall, says Megan, totally fair too. So if you could tell, all of those answers that I called out were totally different from one another, and that's okay. So again, while I'm going to go over some general best practices that can apply across the board, no two businesses' digital marketing strategies are going to look the same, and that's okay. And whether you feel like you're super advanced and a veteran at digital marketing, or you're totally new and don't even know where to start, I'll try and tailor a lot of what I talk about to all levels across the board. So just thank you for all participating in that. I just want to quickly give an overview of what we're going to cover. We're going to start off with just a pulse check of 2025 digital marketing trends, some future focused strategies that you can make sure you prioritize in 2025, a few ad types you should be working into your marketing calendar this year, and then I'll leave you all with some thought starters and to just, some things to walk away with today, and a live Q&A, of course, where I'll answer as many questions as I can that come into that question box. So let's start with just some digital marketing trends that I think every business should be aware of in this coming year. So I'm sure none of you actually are surprised at all that AI is the first trend that I'm talking about for 2025 digital marketing. And there's a few reasons why. It's changing the marketing game right now. So first off, businesses are turning to AI agents to automatically perform tasks and interact and assist and engage and collect data from customers 24/7 to support achieving their specific goals. So SMS marketing and customer support chatbots answer more nuanced customer questions, including those about products and services. Chatbots like our SMS agent have proven to guide visitors through sites and ultimately through the funnel. AI also helps to deliver a seamless omni-channel experience through tailored recommendations, visual search, voice commerce, chatbots, and virtual assistants. AI will continue to expanding predictive capabilities, allowing for more accurate predictions, better product recommendations, and more. Before long, voice-based payment and shopping will be expected to be the norm. And it kind of already is maybe a little bit of the norm. Capable, and you also, with AI, can become capable of creating organic and paid content and visuals in one swoop. So looking at all the folks in that last little poll question just now, that mentioned like creating new creative, new videos, images, and things like that, AI can help with that. So as multimodal AI technology grows, more and more companies will be capable of outputting higher volumes of copy and visuals. The end result, smaller companies that can now compete with larger content teams. That's good. And you maybe put a little pin in that. That also means there's increased competition too. So just be thinking about that too when you're, trying to decide whether AI is the right fit for you, or if you feel like you need better visuals or more visuals. If other companies are going to start using AI, which I'll get into a little bit on the news on the next slide, you want to be doing that as well to try and keep up too. Also, AI helps analyze larger sets of audience data and then helps you tweak your ad targeting and messaging too. So again, a lot of folks also said in that poll that they felt like targeting the right audience and tweaking the messaging accordingly can be a challenge. AI can definitely help with that, as we know too. So marketing automation is all the rage, from automated emails to programmatic advertising, automating social post scheduling or email sends. It frees you up to work on other efforts when you use AI for those types of practices. However, I will not stress enough, and I cannot stress enough on this slide when we're talking about how great AI is for marketing and how you want to use it in 2025, how important at the same time it is to check AI's work. So, for example, if I don't know if any of you on this call, I'm sure some of you have tried out ChatGPT, for example. So at the bottom of ChatGPT, there's some small print there that says ChatGPT can make mistakes, so check important info. So making sure that you're trying tools, you might need to test a few different AI tools to see what works best for your business, and also making sure that you're using the right prompts. So a lot of the quality of your AI outputs are dependent on the quality of the prompts that you put in. And on both the Local IQ and WordStream blogs, we have hundreds of AI prompts that you can copy and paste into your AI tools to make sure that you're getting the best output. Or if you need ideas of like how to approach it or what you could even use AI for, those copy and paste prompts can really come in handy. So you can find that easily online. But again, just making sure you're giving the final look over of anything AI created to make sure it's getting that human touch, staying consistent with your branding. There's a few like contextual things that AI just will never be able to like read through like a person would. So while we encourage and value the use of AI in marketing, we also say to use it cautiously, of course. So that kind of leads me to my next point, right? It's using AI in marketing is easier said than done. So actually nearly 70% of SMBs don't use AI currently, and 31% feel that AI, and 30% also feel like they don't understand how to quite use AI. So if you feel like AI is still something you're not totally comfortable with, you're not alone, according to these stats. And that's why working, with a marketing partner like Local IQ, we have over 20 years of working with small businesses. We know how to drive leads and turn those leads into customers. And now we harness the power of AI through our customer center powered by Dash, our AI capabilities with chatbot and SMS messaging can help you follow up faster and win more business. So moving on from AI, there are other channels and other things to consider in the digital marketing space for 2025, of course. So switching gears to search marketing trends. So be thinking about how the customer journey is changing. So, consumers are now turning to social platforms to find information, reducing reliance on traditional search engines. Marketers need to optimize their presence across these platforms to reach the target audience effectively. AI conversational searches will allow people to search the way they speak. So 51% of voice shoppers use voice search and AI to research products, with 22% buying directly from voice search and 17% using it to reorder items. So you want to be thinking about how you can rank for voice search, and working with a marketing partner like Local IQ can help you leverage these types of technology and optimize your keywords according to what might be aligning with the voice search trends as well. So again, just kind of a mention of that and like thinking about the customer journey, right? So it doesn't mean that if people are searching for your business on social media, that they're not also searching for you on traditional search engines. Search marketing and search advertising is never going to go away, right? Like even as we see ebbs and flows in the Google ads landscape, for example, we all know Google has, had its own trials literally, and, ups and downs through the last couple of years with platform changes and so on. It's still a really effective channel, but just be thinking about how that might change your search strategy, right? So, for example, you might be thinking about how people might find your business initially on social media and then go and search maybe for your brand name on a search engine, for example. So I'll get into that a little bit more as the presentation progresses, but just a little side note there. Also, I did see some shout outs for video in that initial poll we did. So of course, we're going to see a continued dominance of video content in 2025. So nearly 90% of marketers attribute sales to video marketing. Video marketing is super effective. So just keep an open mind, be ready to adapt to new platform tools that encourage interaction. So for example, we saw in the last year or so, the rise of YouTube Shorts, which is similar to TikTok, Instagram Reels, and so on. And also, along with video, you're also going to see more and more AR and VR ads. So expect to see more immersive experiences from brands and small businesses in 2025. So while augmented reality and virtual reality were once primarily associated with just things like gaming, things like that, it's transforming other industries, including industries like home improvement, real estate, fitness, right? So maybe like a virtual walkthrough example for a real estate industry or something like that. So using static display ads, promoting virtual experiences to drive demo conversions from your site directly is an example of how you might be using AR and VR in your ad experience. So it might not be directly like in your ad content or in your ad creative, but maybe that's like your potential lead driver on your actual website is you do have a downloadable or exclusive access virtual reality or augmented reality experience that people can sign up for and that you would advertise through your ads. So let's see how, with those trends, that translates to the strategies you should be implementing for the coming year. So what this all means is that at the end of the day, we are spending more and more time online. So the average consumer engages with companies across 8 different channels on a regular basis. So last year, online content consumption has increased by 30%, and 6 million people are shopping online every minute. So if you think your potential customers aren't online, these stats prove that they high likelihood that they most definitely are. So you want to be implementing a strategy that touches on all these trends and you're always thinking about all the potential touch points that your potential customers could be having with your business online. So it's definitely changed, and that's why having a cross-channel marketing strategy is so important. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about in digital marketing, because having a cross-channel marketing mix can really make or break the success you see in digital marketing. And I feel like through the years, as I've worked with real businesses in real life and coached them through these types of things, it can be easy to get into the flow of only wanting to invest on those, tried and true platforms, maybe 1 or 2, or traditional platforms that like people called out on this call, that work or have worked historically in the past, and you're married to that one. But as the customer journey has really evolved, even in the last few years, you might find that that's not necessarily effective anymore, and that's okay. It just means you need to shift your strategy and include and incorporate other channels to help supplement and fill in the gaps that other channels might not hit. There is no one end all be all marketing channel, and that's a question I get a lot is, what channel should my business prioritize? And the answer is going to be different for every business, depending on their industry, depending on their audience. But also at the same time, not one digital marketing channel is going to be able to cover all your bases. So you really want to have a diverse, holistic approach to your marketing with multiple marketing channels. So, we have the list of different channels that you could use can go on and on. We just listed a few here, like display ads, email marketing, SMS, social media, and more. But you just want to be thinking about how to create a cohesive cross-channel customer experience through your marketing for your customers. And that'll help build trust and customer loyalty, right? So let's say, for example, you're just prioritizing search marketing. And then they go and try and find your business on social media, and you haven't really implemented much social media marketing yet. They're not like maybe they find your account, maybe you do have an account, but you don't take a ton of care of it. You don't prioritize like your organic social media marketing. Then they're not really sure if that's an authentic business, if they found the right page. Like the last thing you want is for your customers to find your business and not be sure that it's really you, or not be sure that it's credible because it doesn't look as clean or have as strong of an online presence as other competitors, things like that. So that's why like a multi-channel and cross-channel marketing approach can be really important. And that doesn't necessarily mean higher costs. Actually, it can help lower costs overall. When I was, just mentioning about using different channels to fill the gaps. Well, let's say like your bread and butter channel, maybe search ads, for example, tends to be a little pricier. That's okay. You can still run on search ads, but maybe you supplement some of that with a lower cost platform like social ads or something like that. So just making sure you're spreading your budget strategically. And that's why our technology automatically, adjusts and reallocates and is always, staying nimble with your budget across channels so that you're constantly putting money towards what's bringing you results and spending less money where it might not necessarily relate to results. So that means that you would have an always on marketing approach. And again, this is like my favorite topic to talk about. So an always on marketing is a form of marketing where you're constantly running campaigns to ensure you always have an online presence and are getting in front of your target audience throughout the year. So any sort of seasonal businesses like that, like to start and stop campaigns, things like that. And I've worked with a lot of businesses like that through the years. I'm kind of looking at you through this. Always on marketing is really important no matter what the business, even if you do have marketing year round. I've had businesses that aren't seasonal, but feel like they just don't get a lot, maybe, for example, around the holidays, and they decide they want to pause their campaigns. One of the biggest reasons why I suggest not to do that, I understand maybe wanting to like scale back or readjust, temporarily, but you always want to be running ads and you always want to be running campaigns, because all of these digital channels now are run and optimized based on machine learning. So in order for platforms like Google Ads and Meta Ads and so on to be correctly serving your ads in your content, it needs to be constantly running and constantly collecting data to understand how to best serve what you're putting out to your audience. So when you start and stop campaigns, that's constantly putting you back into that learning period and causing the algorithms on these digital channels that you use to not know how to best serve your ads, and it just overall makes your campaigns less effective. So unlike seasonal or topical marketing, which can still be effective too, like a special event or a product promotion, always on marketing is simply always on. It never stops. And because always on marketing is constantly running across various marketing channels, it's often more general than a single campaign or product specific approach to marketing. So your always on marketing message may be focused more on the benefits of working with your business rather than specific promotion or product type. And that's a very effective approach too. So for example, if your business has a busy season, which is totally okay, so seasonal businesses out there, we understand that there are times in the year that you're going to be busier and want to be ramping things up. You likely run campaigns during that rush, right? But an always on marketing strategy means you're promoting your business beyond just your seasonal campaigns so that you can keep your customers engaged year round, which is so important. And that really means they'll be able to find you when the time comes that they do need you, right? So looking at your always on marketing, it solves a lot of common small business challenges. So like, do any of these pain points on the left look familiar to you all? Well, our first ever small business survey gave us insight into over 730 businesses most common struggles. And a lot of those common pain points are alleviated through the benefits of always on marketing. So I did kind of discuss a little bit on the last side. Again, you'll all get the recording and a copy of the slides in your inbox later today, and you can find the recording online. So I won't spend a ton of time here, but this is just kind of, again, to, as you're thinking about those marketing challenges that I had asked about at the beginning of the presentation, using an always on marketing strategy in 2025 can solve a lot of that for you. So let's talk here about how almost half of businesses do all of their own marketing. So this is also probably the point in creating your always on marketing plan that you may want to decide whether or not you want to outsource your marketing to a marketing partner. When it comes to managing your marketing, you don't have to do it all alone. Many businesses also leverage a marketing partner to alleviate the hard work that goes into making marketing great. So outsourcing your marketing may require a little bit more money, but it will save you time and deliver better results in the long run. So you can kind of think of it like if you're managing your marketing, stretching yourself thin, stretching your resources and your bandwidth thin, that can end up being a phrase that I just love to use in my personal life, penny wise and pound foolish, meaning like it's cheaper up front, but it's costing you more in the long run because you're not seeing results from your campaigns, because you're not maximizing them to the utmost capacity that they could be, because again, you're not cross promoting them across platforms and things like that. So that's why potentially using a marketing partner can actually be more beneficial. So again, the modern buying journey is complicated. It's going to take a mix of marketing platforms to help your customers navigate through the stages of the consumer journey and ultimately choose to do business with you. You can't just be at the end of the process and expect to win. You need to be in all the places where your customers are spending their time. So again, kind of going back to my point of like really truly thinking about all the potential touch points that your customers could be having with your business if you have a full funnel online presence strategy. So what that might look like if you were to use, again, a marketing platform like LookLikeU, it would be a cross-channel strategy involving creating a unified and personalized customer experience across multiple channels. So understanding your consumer's behavior at each step of the buyer's journey will help you identify which offers best align with each stage. So follow them across the web, social media, and YouTube, and keep your business top of mind and increasing customer engagement. So this type of strategy amplifies your visibility and drives more business. So this particular journey is an example of how our cross-media technology moves budget across channels based on engagement so that your business can feasibly follow the prospect wherever they go on the internet until they finally make a purchase. Another little anecdotal story I like to talk about here is like, I kind of give these examples in webinars a lot of like, it's not always what you might think to catch your target audience. I know a lot of folks on this call are in a lot of, niche specific verticals and industries, such as, subcategories of verticals within home services or healthcare or so on. But one example I kind of love to use is B2B. So let's say, for example, a B2B marketer or someone who's running marketing for like a B2B small business, they're looking for decision makers at other companies to, reach out to and to show their potential offering to. And you might think off the bat, okay, well, let's say I run a display ad. I would want that display ad to show on content related to business practices or whatever my B2B business offers. But if you think about it, that's not necessarily what that decision maker is looking at throughout the workday. I know I'm definitely guilty, and we all are probably, of not necessarily always looking at everything related to what we do day in and day out at work every day. That decision maker isn't necessarily reading articles on, let's say, for example, if it was offering software, why all these different softwares are great. Sure, that's relevant content you want to be showing on there, but also these types of decision makers are, thinking about planning out their weekend, looking at the weather, thinking about what they're going to cook for dinner that night, checking out recipes. So a lot of like lifestyle and unrelated, like what seems initially unrelated types of content that you could show your ads on can actually be really effective for that type of audience. And the same goes like if you were trying to reach parents or homeowners or whatever it may be. So just thinking about how, they might see an ad, look you up, go to your website, not convert, think about it, come back. I think the customer journey and the decision making process has really changed a lot. So again, like how that might look here is if you were to, do it through the local IQ way, of course, is you would be focusing on reaching your target audience, create a high value omni-channel media plan through the USA Today network that local IQ leverages to reach that audience, and then start capturing data for those leads and then turning that lead generation, those leads into actual customers. So again, let's talk about an example of the customer journey, and we'll kind of go through each step. So if you're thinking about, your typical sales funnel or buyer's journey here, it starts with the awareness stage. So maybe someone is searching for online information about their pain points. So this is where you would thinking about your SEO and PPC keywords, right? So any sort of like informational or transactional keywords that people asking questions, things like that. So you want to be offering advice. That's why content marketing can be so important and SEO can be so important, so that your website provides helpful information to your potential customers. You might be hosting events, how-to videos, and so on. And you can promote those types of content on channels like social media and more. So this is more of a top of funnel approach right now. And if you feels like a lot to create that type of problem solving content, use AI. Or if you're like, I've thought of 3 questions that my potential customers could ask. What else could they be asking? That's another example of how you can use AI. I always push that AI is really there for ideation. So if you need ideas of like if you need ideas for different questions that people might be asking, you could stage that in a quick AI prompt. Hey, I'm, this type of person. I'm looking to fix this problem. What are the types of questions I might have? And that can help you think and brainstorm new angles to go at. Moving on from the stage would next be, of course, the consideration stage. So this is where, you would be focusing more on like things like free trials, product guides, explainer videos, customer testimonials like you see on the left here, and more, to kind of show how your business actually helps solve that problem. So while after they became aware of your business, now they're going to be like, is this the right solution for me? And then finally here at the decision stage, this is when people are deciding whether to do business with your brand. So they're going to be evaluating your business, start comparing it to competitors, potentially looking at things like social proofs or reviews. And that's why things, listings, local listings across the web are really important, things like that. So, just always trying to put as much information out there on your listing so that people can easily find your business, see what people are talking about, responding to every single review too, things like that. But this is also when you're hopefully ideally finally getting them to that landing page and really taking an action. So you want to make sure that you're optimizing those pages, making it clear the type of action that you want your audience to take, making sure that CTA is clear, and easy to navigate, and just from there, making it as easy as possible for your customers to complete the action that you desire them to do is really can make or break your decision stage success. So let's kind of talk about some of those key ad types that you can implement into that cross-channel strategy, and we'll provide some tips for each. So these are some of the ads that you should be focusing here on in your 2025 digital advertising. So it's all comes down to pay-per-click or PPC ad types, and we'll go into each of these here: the search, display, paid social ads, shopping ads, video ads, and remarketing ads, or those ads that are reused to an audience that previously may have interacted with your business. So don't just think when it comes to PPC, it can be easy to get into that box of just being like, oh, just Google ads and that's all I need. But platforms like Bing or Amazon ads reduce your reliance on search engines. Again, we know that while Google is still going to remain really important for businesses, it's changing. So you don't want to just solely rely on that or put all your eggs on in one basket, being the Google ads basket. You want to be able to have confidence that you have a diverse PPC ad portfolio. Explore AI-powered PPC tools to automate and enhance your bidding strategies, and making sure that you're using feedback and you're reporting and measuring on your success of these PPC channels to inform your ad messaging and assure alignment with customers. So for social media, when we're talking about social ads here, again, these are budget friendly. You only pay when the ad is clicked, of course. Um, some things that I think businesses should be more open to in 2025 is testing different ad formats, especially on platforms like Meta ads, and which includes Instagram ads and Facebook ads, of course. Other ad platforms, Snapchat ads too, things like that. Test story ads or other ad formats. There's so many different ad formats available on social media ad platforms now. I would say sometimes it feels even more flexible than your typical search ad platform. So keep an open mind with that. Also, maybe try and source some user-generated content to create relatable ads. So, again, maybe focusing on, any sort of reviews or comments that people have put in maybe your organic posts in the past. You could potentially take those comments and highlight them in an ad or something like that. And again, focusing on addressing those pain points, which of course, can help you provide those solutions to those pain points and build trust. So we're spending over 2 hours daily on average across social media platforms. And social media is the second most popular channel for online brand research. So not only are people looking on Bing and Google and all these other platforms for your business, they're also looking now on Instagram and Facebook and X and so on. So I know I'm definitely guilty of that too. Like, honestly, if I'm trying to suss out a potential business, I would be looking them up on Google, but I also want to just kind of see maybe they have something going on, or maybe they have a promotion. I always look at their social media to just see, like, what else they might have to offer that isn't initially showed in like their Google local listings and so on. So people are really looking for like a complete picture of your business. So it's not just like one specific source is going to completely convince your potential customers that they should work with you. Display ads. This is actually one of my, I don't know why. I mean, I do have an idea why, but it's one of my personal favorite types of ads. I could talk about display ads all day. I just think they're really effective. And I think that there are a lot of ways that you can track the success of them and actually look like you can help you do that, which I'll get into in a sec. But basically, display ads, they're useful for building brand awareness and conversions, as they can show up just about anywhere and are often containing clickable calls to action, and you build brand awareness, which is a top goal for nearly 90% of businesses, is to build that brand awareness. So are you running a sale and want to make sure a former visitor knows, or have a new product that you want to get in front of potential leads? Remarketing display ads are definitely an option for you there. You want to be considering things like OTT, or over the top, reaching cord cutters through platform specific streaming ads. So OTT, or over the top streaming ads, are ads that go over the top of the cable box, because it's not through cable, it's through like your internet provided streaming services like Hulu or Peacock. So you might want to choose some platforms that align with your audience there to run some OTT ads. And again, local IQ's cross-media optimization technology and targeting display eliminates the guesswork of display. We customize a mix of display targeting tactics across device types that helps you get and stay in front of your target audience during every step of their buyer's journey. You can really get into the weeds of display ads very quickly. So it is really helpful to have someone there, or marketing partner that you trust, to help you through that. Another example is, I think a lot of businesses tend to feel like since display ads can show anywhere, they're going to yield a super high amount of impressions really quick, but they're not always going to be connecting back to at first glance because they're shown passively to users as they're watching something or browsing, surfing the web, like that example I gave earlier, or so on, of, just people kind of like checking out online and they see your display ad. They might not necessarily click on it and convert from that ad. But that doesn't mean the display ad is ineffective. There's something called view through conversions that you can track, which means you basically would connect back that display ad to any searches made for your business after that display ad was seen. And Local IQ can help businesses track view through conversions, which is a really helpful metric when it comes to display, because that way you're able to see, okay, yeah, my display ad is yielding a ton of impressions, but all of a sudden my search ad conversion rate is going up. It's high likelihood people are seeing your display ad, then going to Google search or wherever, looking for your business from there because you planted the seed with that display ad, but then they're actually converting off the other ads. So again, that's an example of how like that multi-channel, cross-channel approach can be really effective in the long run because you're, again, hitting those customer touch points across anywhere they are on the web. So along with display is also video advertising, and you can kind of use this in the same way that you would use display. And you don't need like a full-fledged production team and production budget to create video ads. It can be pretty grassroots with, just a phone to record and a way to upload it really, and a way to edit it maybe a little bit. But, you can have one video that you can repurpose across multiple platforms. And maybe you're more focused on optimizing like the different keywords that are related to the video in your titles, descriptions, and tags for SEO and PPC purposes. Another quick tip is if you're doing like more of a sales focused video, of course, we know in this day and age in 2025, we're dealing with shorter attention spans. So something between 30 to 90 seconds is the most effective. Again, I reviewed a few video marketing stats before, but just to reiterate, it's super effective in convincing people to buy from a brand. And it can also lead to more qualified leads per year, and people are regularly watching videos in the US, even as we speak. Lastly, here, I just want to touch on SMS and geo-targeting, so delivering timely, personalized messages on the go. So SMS or text message marketing is a preferred channel for businesses looking to convert customers faster and never lose a lead because you're constantly nurturing that audience. So thinking about locations, so a lot of local businesses or even multi-location franchise businesses can lean into this. So incorporating SMS promotions or display ads into geo-targeting strategies to deliver location-specific offers at the perfect time can be a really effective strategy for 2025 as well. So I know that was a ton of information, and I mean, I've been marketing game for a long time now, and even for me this is a ton to wrap my head around. So if you feel like that was a lot, don't worry. Just a few things that I want you all to take away from everything we covered. And again, reminder, this will be recorded. You'll get the recording after, you'll get a copy of the slides after. Just remember that time is your most valuable asset. So anything that can help you put time back into your day when doing your marketing can be very valuable. So looking into automation tools and partners to help you save time, deliver a seamless omni-channel experience, and optimize campaigns can be really important. Also, think about and consider your customer feedback. So find out who your customers are, what they need, how they need to buy, and where they go for information. And it sounds really silly, and I've mentioned this on a few past webinars. I haven't talked about it in a while, actually, but this is a really good exercise. It sounds silly at first, but really picture that ideal person in your head. What do they look like? Where do they spend their time? What does their home life like? What do they do for work? How much money do they make? What are their interests? What are their hopes, dreams, life goals? Like really paint that picture in your head of your ideal customer, because that can tell you a lot about what your target audience is doing throughout the day, what their interests are, what their leisurely activities are, who they're spending time with, who they're talking to, what their priorities are, what they can afford, if that's even a concern for them, like those are the things that can really help you tweak and tailor your messaging to be much more personalized and much more effective. And also expand your marketing channels. You all know, and I love to end webinars with this, and I will say it, and I'll always say it. If there's one thing that you all take away from this hour, is always, always, always have a backup plan and a multi-channel, cross-channel approach where you're using multiple marketing channels is the way that you do that. And you always want a marketing backup plan because you want to be thinking ahead of like, okay, if I roll out this campaign on this platform and it goes great, awesome. What am I going to do from there? Am I going to scale it? Am I going to let that ride out? If it doesn't go as planned and I don't see the results I want, you want to make sure you're covering your own butt by having other platforms still running at the same time that are going to supplement that campaign if things go south, right? So having a multi-channel marketing approach can help you really see that you're always still getting something coming into your business when it comes to new potential customers, even if it feels like it can get really easy to get bogged down into like one specific campaign. And campaign performance, honestly, is going to ebb and flow, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure overall you're working towards your business's bottom line. And through a multi-channel experience, you can do that. So just something that I love to kind of mention at the end. With that being said, again, I know this feels like a ton, but I do have a quick way for you to get more of your questions answered. I'm going to launch a quick poll onto your screen here. And if you feel like you have more questions, I'm seeing a lot of questions come in about like specific business situations. If you have any questions on anything I covered here, you can go ahead and hit yes on that poll to get an assessment with an expert at a later time. So that way you can get your questions answered in what feels like a one-on-one setting. Truly, it is a one-on-one setting, so it can be really effective if you have questions there. So I'm just going to leave that poll up for a few minutes here while we jump into the Q&A. So again, if you answered that poll, great. Feel free to sit back and relax and just let that poll hang out. We're going to leave that up for a few minutes here. If you haven't yet added your questions in for the Q&A, go ahead and drop them in now. And I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can in these last few minutes here. Really good questions coming in. So Danielle had asked, what does always on really mean in terms of content flow or how much content to release weekly, monthly, yearly? Is there a benchmark or a starting point? Great question. So I will say it's going to depend on the channel. And we do have a ton of information on like the best times and frequency to post on platforms like Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. But also we do provide on our websites a free marketing planning calendar that also has suggestions of, tips and ideas for how frequently or when throughout the year you should be plugging certain types of marketing. I know it can feel like you have to constantly be putting out content. That's not necessarily what I mean from always on, and I'm glad you asked this question. It more just means consistency over anything. So it's going to depend on your business's resources and bandwidth too. If you only have the bandwidth to post, maybe one blog post a week or bi-weekly, that's great to start. And then that's more of a long-term game that'll grow over time versus like something like social media where you're more posting like weekly or usually on like a weekly basis for most platforms or, every other day. Few other questions coming in. Sam asked, for small businesses on a limited budget, where does one start with always on marketing? How do I get the most bang for my buck? Great question. I love talking about this, and I'm glad you brought this up too, because I feel like I usually do acknowledge this, and I apologize that I actually didn't. But I love to say that I understand it's not always feasible to just dump money into different campaigns across channels, right? Obviously, if you put more money into a campaign, it's likely going to perform better just by the game of like different platforms like Google Ads, Facebook ads, and so on. But you can get more strategic with your budget, and it's totally fine if you have a smaller budget. You can still see success with a cross-channel digital marketing approach. So to get the best bang for your buck, you do want to be optimizing your budget and reallocating budget constantly across channels. And that'll probably be how you like can stretch your budget. And you might need to just prioritize a little bit more and also set your expectations accordingly. So maybe, instead of doing every platform under the sun, which we would love to see, we would love to see businesses taking advantage of as many channels as they can. And I would say every free channel you definitely want to be using off the bat, especially if you feel like your budget is limited, then there's like really no reason why you shouldn't have every free channel possible. So that way it can supplement as much as possible from your paid channels. So for example, your listings, your SEO, your organic social media marketing, things like that. I could probably think of a few more. I mean, even depending on how you like approach your email marketing or your chat or your website, like those can be low cost strategies too. And we have a ton of ideas and information on low cost strategies because we realize, like, again, it's like not always feasible for businesses that are growing to have this monster marketing budget that they're just, again, just dumping into their campaigns. So I would say, yeah, prioritize your free channels, and then also kind of set your priorities and your expectations for your paid channels. So for example, if I have a $10 daily budget for my search ads and my business's average cost per click is $5 a day, $5, then I better be ready to only be able to afford 2 clicks a day. So one of those 2 clicks better convert. And that's totally okay. I'll start slow and build that historical data. And as you build that historical data and improve other parts of your account, like, for example, your quality score in Google Ads, which we do have information on too, you could eventually get away with a cheaper cost per click. But you know what I'm saying? So as you kind of build up over time, you should be able to naturally evolve your marketing budget too. But that's how I would approach it, is just making sure that you are clear in your priorities and your expectations, and then knowing what free channels can help supplement your paid channels is a good start for a cross-channel strategy. I hope that helped. A few more questions here. I know we're getting close to time, but I just want to try and answer as many as I can. Let's see, tons of other questions. And if you haven't yet added your questions in, let me know. People are asked, okay, I have a few questions coming in on how you would even start. A lot of folks feel like they don't necessarily know where to start when it comes for digital marketing. That's totally fair too. Like if you've just really focused on traditional strategies, or you have a pretty small digital marketing strategy right now, totally okay. And I would say it just takes time. It takes a lot of these platforms require a lot of historical data to really optimize as much as they possibly can for your business. So I would say start slow. Again, start with those priorities and, try and diversify as much as you can. So I would say if there's like one digital channel that I definitely want to try, okay, well, what's the complete opposite of that channel? Or what's the complete like different direction from that channel? So for example, let's say I know I want to try search ads. They're going to crush it. I really want to do it. I had never done it before, but I want to still do a cross-channel strategy. Okay, I'll start with search ads, but I'll also implement or start building up maybe my organic social media marketing, and that'll help supplement my search ads. So maybe picking a few channels that are kind of unrelated to one another to help maximize your business's reach across potential customer touch points can be really important. And with that, we're right at time. So thank you all, everyone, for joining and for participating in that poll. I wish that, we could talk about this all day. Clearly, as you could tell, I wish I could answer all of your questions, but I appreciate you all for joining. We do these webinars sometimes even twice a month. Another one coming up, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And thank you all again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.